Love Debate is a nationally touring live theater event.
It's lively, and tonight it hits downtown Minneapolis. Here to tell us more is the host of the show, Brian Howie, along with local dating coach Kimberly Koehler.
Good morning,
nice to have both of you here.
Hi, how are you?
All right, this sounds like a wild ride. Explain what the Great Love Debate is about. Go.
It is essentially the disconnect between men and women. Essentially, the women want the men to try harder, and the men want the women to make it easier. So what we do, town hall style, is we get a couple hundred single people in an audience. We mix in a bunch of celebrities and dating coaches like Kim, and collectively, over the course of 90 minutes or so, try and figure out why all of these seemingly reasonable people are either still single, or are single again, or are single longer.
Now, people buy tickets to this. I mean, these are willing participants.
Yes.
There's not like an application process to all of this.
No.
So, and once you're there, is everyone, I mean, is it free game on whoever is there to want to take a mic and open up about stuff?
It is, as I said before, my job to whack the audience like a piñata and get the stuff out of them. It is not a seminar. It is not a panel discussion. It is town hall style, which means the dialogue flows from the audience to the stage and between the men and the women. And it's fun, it's interactive, it's funny, it's lively, and we get somewhere. We get more matches at our shows than match.
Okay, Kimberly, now you've been with this, you've been traveling the country, but now you've seen very similar themes that continue to come up. You know, we first, right off the top, you said, men want to work,
women to make it easier, and women want guys to work harder.
Okay, and so these themes are something that you work with men and women all the time. And what are the big surprises for you?
So I think that, you know, in the show, I've done it a couple times now. I did it last year, they came twice, and I was on the panel. And what's really interesting is that everybody thinks that their issues are different from guys and gals. And really, actually, it's very similar. Their fears are similar. They're all afraid of being rejected. They're all afraid of being hurt. And so the conversation flows, and I think that one thing that the crowd discovers is that they're actually more alike than they are different.
Brian, you were saying, because you're on the local level and you've toured with this, but this is you've planted the seed here for a little bit.
We've done over 100 shows in 78 different cities. And Minneapolis is not perfect, but it is the closest to getting it right.
Why do you think that is?
The ingredients are here. We just named Minneapolis the best city to find love in America.
Ooh.
And
you say that to all the cities.
No, I don't. You don't believe how people are like that's crazy. And I'm like, well, you haven't been to Miami and Boston and L.A. and New York, and it's much tougher. People here are not just hopeful, but they understand where the disconnect lies. They understand what the issues are, and they're sort of open and honest about it. And the men take ownership of what they need to do, and so do the women. The women look for red flags, the men look for green lights, and that is a little bit of the difference. And so if we can bring everybody together, just the very act of getting 200 single people in a room and having an open, honest dialogue goes a long way, and then we have a really fun party, and everybody goes home happy.
We joke about Minnesota nice, that maybe we're too passive, or, you know, that therein lies, would you say, part of the problem, Minnesota specific now?
I think that, you know, a big thing, you know, kind of coming off that is a piece of the puzzle is we're Midwesterners, and we actually are relationship minded. I mean, you know, you see a lot of college marriages coming out of college, coming out of high school. And so we tend to be very much driven towards love and driven towards being in relationships. And so I think that that's why it's more conducive here in the Midwest, where when you spread across the country, there's other things that come more, your attention goes to. So I think that's kind of a big piece of the puzzle.
Any type of live event is a challenge. When you bring this into a town hall setting with all these unpredictable factors, the challenge increases. A, how do you pull something like that off? But B, what are some of the, I mean, there's got to be some crazy nights out of this, where things are just so weird.
You know, every show is different, every night is different, every audience is different, every panel is different. We have had people who have previously dated both happen to be in the audience at the same time.
Oh, okay, all right.
You know, and why didn't you call me? And the women turn. You know, there's been some times where it's turned a little Jerry Springer on us.
Yeah.
But
all chairs bolted down.
But mostly, you know, or people have noticed each other on dating sites or Tinder or whatever, and they're like, oh, that's guy, you know. But we try and keep it positive and hopeful, and most importantly, honest. And once you can go to that honest place, And the men really drive the dialogue at these things. The women really do want to hear that it's frustrating for the guys too, because it is. You know, the women think the guys have it easy, and I don't think they really get how afraid and insecure most men really are.
And I think that that's a really big eye-opener for them. And, you know, I have done smaller stuff locally with conversations like that, and that's the biggest eye-opener that women, I think, end up seeing is how really scared guys truly are out there in the dating world. They're not sure. Are they supposed to open a door? Are they supposed to pay for a bill? Are they supposed to, you know, what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to actually say hello? What am I supposed to say if I like you? How do I approach you? So I don't even do any of those things. So I might seem like I don't care, but it's really, I'm more scared. That's
We've lost the ability to say hi.
Yeah.
You know, we always say the best
contract
date
for
motivation.
that now.
The best pickup line is hello. I mean, that's people always ask, you know, how do I start a conversation? It's hello.
That's true. That's true.
And the best dating site is Minneapolis. It's Earth. You know, say hi to each other. That's the best first line.
Yeah, don't look at your phones. And
Get out of your
Get your
phone.
head out of your apps.
I like that.
I like
phrase.
that.
That's good.
Okay. Yeah.
Kimberly and Brian, thank you very much for being here this morning. The Great Love Debate, of course, kicks off tonight at the Southern Theater in downtown Minneapolis. It runs through January 31st. You got the rest of the month for tickets. Head on over to greatlovedebate.com.